Do you recall the day your service ended in Vietnam?
Oh, yeah. Twice. There's no better feeling than, saying goodbye to your friends over there. And, you always kept what was called a short timer's calendar. A regular old calendar, and you just mark off day by day. 365 of them. And you get down to that 365th one, and that's the day you're leaving, uh, and both times I was always scared that something was going to happen.
John Henry Hubert lived a well-deserved, illustrious life in which he accomplished many aspirations that most people only dream of achieving. From his military stint in Germany to his time in Vietnam, Lieutenant Colonel Hubert always remained faithful and never gave up hope. However, LTC Hubert also lived a life outside his 25 years of military experience. His intelligence was harnessed to its true potential while doing his duty to our prominent country. LTC Hubert was also dedicated, helpful, and passionate through his numerous years on and off duty. Through an illustrious career as a serviceman, achieving the rank of lieutenant colonel, and as a civilian, John Hubert profoundly touched the lives of those he served.
John Huber began his complex lifetime journey at a farmhouse on Cherry Lane in Shepherdstown, Pennsylvania, where he was also raised for the majority of his childhood. However, at the age of 15, during his ninth grade year, his family relocated to Sebring, Florida, where he graduated high school in 1959. He had to leave his friends and his former lifestyle back in Pennsylvania. After high school, he attended Florida Southern College, Lakeland, Florida, from 1959 to 1963, earning a degree in psychology. At this time, his military training began and would change his life forever.
The Reserve Officer Training Corps, ROTC, was a strict requirement of all men who attended Florida Southern College. By obligation and curiosity, LTC Hubert attended this training course for 2 years, and he came to appreciate the military uniforms, the disciplined lifestyle, and the rigorous organization. In August of 1963, once he fulfilled his required training, he was commissioned as second lieutenant in the Adjutant General Corps. Many of his peers took pleasure in their instant high rank, but LTC Hubert remained humble and executed his daily duties to the best of his abilities. His success in this program allowed LTC Hubert to select his branch and area of service in the United States military.
John Hubert's first assignment in the military was as a member of the Adjutant General Corps. He partook in the Adjutant General Basic Course where he learned personnel management and administration responsibilities. From 1963 to 1965, his specialized training in Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, equipped him for the long pilgrimage that would be his military career. Here, LTC Hubert was allowed access to administration documents. Additionally, he was entrusted to handle top secret and classified documents. The stress of these duties was nothing compared to the burden that would engulf him during his 2 individual tours in Vietnam.
LTC Hubert felt a sense of accomplishment and pride as he arrived in Vietnam in March 1966 for the first of 2 separate trips. His role was to serve as a personnel officer in the Nha Trang Sub-Area Command. However, his excitement was short-lived as he soon realized the treacherous nature of the Vietnamese homeland. His superiors never issued him a weapon, which was not uncommon for many of the support troops. As a result, he was utterly defenseless against the Vietnamese attacks. Even the simplest daily tasks proved difficult while under the stress of recognizing unknown enemies. Therefore, John Hubert was forced to deem all Vietnamese untrustworthy if he wished to protect his life, because, as he put it, you just didn't know what to expect.
LTC Hubert held on to a twinge of hope that he would soon return to his beloved family and friends in the American homeland. Even though he achieved the rank of captain during this time, he simply longed to come home.
LTC Hubert never forgot each time he was informed that he had permission to return home from Vietnam. After 2 separate year-long tours, he said, "There is no better feeling than saying goodbye to your friends over there." He described both times as the greatest feeling in the world. However, even with this overwhelming joy, fear and isolation also accompanied him. Despite their brave sacrifices, many people in America refused to welcome home these soldiers, leaving many feeling sad and dejected. Fortunately, LTC Hubert never experienced the hostility, oddly enough, that many returning veterans received. Furthermore, John had little time to relax when he returned to his home. After his second tour in March 1972, he was immediately assigned to the U.S. Recruiting Command in Hampton, Virginia, to serve and continue his training. During this tour in Virginia, he gained the rank of major. John Hubert's path of serving this great nation of America was passing just as quickly as it had begun.
John Hubert continued his training, despite being physically and emotionally worn out. He quickly learned his role and responsibilities in this stateside assignment. LTC Huber easily adjusted and mastered his newfound duties in administration and human relations. This training would prepare him for his next military assignment overseas. In October 1974, LTC Huber was appointed the Adjutant General in the 5th Infantry Division in Fort Polk, Louisiana. His responsibilities comprised of meeting the necessities of the troops stationed with him and building up the strength of his newly formed division.
Once in Germany, LTC Huber was assigned to the 1st Armored Division in Germany as the commander of the Regional Personnel Center. As the commander of this unit, it was his charge to see that the men defended the U.S. and German interests in the Cold War. During the duration of this tour, LTC Huber was moved to Heidelberg, Germany as a staff officer, where he was promoted to lieutenant colonel. Upon returning from Germany, LTC Huber finished his military career with a final assignment in Hampton, Virginia. He retired in September 1988 after serving over 25 years in the United States military.
After retirement, he returned to civilian society and readjusted to normal life. He searched for a new life path to follow and decided that it was time to go back to school. By using the GI Bill, he obtained a bachelor's degree in accounting, which he unfortunately never fully utilized. However, regardless of this degree, he decided to chase an old passion that he never thought possible. His dream career was to become a potter. He described his reason for striving to become a potter as something I always wanted to do, and so I did it. In fact, he relished the next 16 years making what he loved.
LTC Huber now enjoys the next phase of his life, known as retirement. Today, LTC Huber leads a relaxing and fulfilling life with memories of sumptuous adventures from the past. Even after all these years, John Huber still actively participates in a veteran organization known as the American Legion. The American Legion helps veterans maintain their well-deserved rights and protects them from injustices. Looking back, LTC Huber doesn't have many regrets and acknowledges that he was a blessed man who lived a successful military story.
LTC John Huber's tremendous accomplishments show his undeniable work ethic and courage. America should know his story because he sacrificed himself for the good of the world. Throughout his career, he displayed his moral fiber in Vietnam, as well as in various roles in the United States military. His military service should be an inspiration to all young men and women who want to make a difference in the world. Without people like him, our country would never have become what it is today. Consequently, LTC John Huber should be proud, for his accomplishments will be remembered for generations to come. It is with great appreciation and respect that we recognize a man who has so honored this nation. How is military life different from civilian life?
Regimentation, and I like that. And much to the chagrin of my family, I still do that. You know, I mean, I don't make them march around or anything. You know, I don't make them make a bed where I can, you know, bounce a quarter off of it, which is, you know, what you see in the movies and all of that. But really, regimentation and not having to decide what to wear every day, a uniform. You know, I like the organization. You know, you know, in the military, you know, your place. I mean, you know, as you get into an organization, you know, what you're wearing on your shoulder or your sleeve pretty much determines where your place is. You know, and you know, so you have that aspect. You know, so that there's no question, you know, as to where you fit in.
Did you form any friendships while serving in Vietnam?
Yeah, I did. You know, we had most times we had roommates over there.
How was the morale in your group?
For the most part, okay. But again, in the first tour, well, even in the second tour over there, you know, my second tour was in 1971 to 72, and that was still when we had the draft. And that was a big problem, you know, because we had, you know, I had guys working for me that probably had a better or a college degree than I did, you know, and I had guys working for me that, you know, hadn't completed 8th grade, you know, and but you still had men there that didn't want to be in the Army, and in particular in Vietnam, because Vietnam was not very popular in those days at all.